Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Capstone project, Auxilian. It is a 6-story building located off of 14th Street in Hillhurst with lightwood frame residential and a concrete podium. I am Roshan.
My name is Jason,
And hello, my name is Nathan,
and together we are.
RJ and Tex.
Our primary goal was affordability to help mitigate the affordability housing crisis in Calgary. We chose to use the commercial revenue from the first 2 floors to subsidize the residential floors above. Our secondary goal was to create a building that respects the community desires while acting as a catalyst for development along 14th Street.
In regards to zonings, our neighbors to the west are RC2, zoning along 14th is C-Core 2, with the exception of our site, which is direct control. Further east, there's the MCG multifamily area. For roads, the surrounding vehicular circulation includes 2nd Ave, 15th Street, and 14th Street. Lastly, for shadows, we conducted 2 shadow studies to see how our building would affect our residential neighbors to the west.
For our main floor, we have 6 commercial retail bays. We've pushed our circulation to the north to help maximize commercial square footage. We've also pushed our residential entrance to the back to help activate the lane. And as part of this, we also added some residential units along the lane. Our service space is located just alongside the parkade ramp. On our second floor, we added offices to help further subsidize those residential floors above. Our offices are serviced by a public corridor and washrooms. And lastly, our strategy for the residential floors was to keep the units as consistent as possible, which we applied to the remaining 3 floors. Moving on to our site plan, one of the major additions was adding reverse angle parking along 14th Street. This makes it safer for cars to re-enter traffic, it places the trunk at the back of the curb, and it's safer for children. For our setbacks, in addition to the 5-meter setback at the lane, we have a 5.182-meter public realm setback on the front of our site. For our laneway suites, we provided gates and raised the slab height to further help increase the feeling of security. We also placed our garbage room and loading stall by the parkade ramp.
For our parkade level, we have 26 parking stalls and 4 accessible stalls. We also have 62 bike stalls. We have a water meter room, a cistern and mechanical room. We also have storage units for all of the residential units. Our vertical circulation also includes glazing for safety. We have 1 commercial elevator, as well as 2 residential elevators. For our first floor, we have 3 garden apartments that include small backyards. We also have commercial units along 14th Street. The residential entry has controlled shared access from 14th Street through the commercial lobby as well. Our second floor contains 10 commercial office suites to increase our commercial revenue. We also included 2 full washrooms and a janitor closet.
Our third floor features 4 units, typical, southern, elevator overrun, and accessible. Our goal for the typical unit was to provide flexibility and comfortability while maintaining a modern feel. We were able to achieve this by providing 2 bedrooms, where the secondary bedroom would be treated as a flex space that could be used as a home office, a gym, or etc. Moving on to the accessible unit, due to the additional space needed, we decided it would be most beneficial to make this unit a 2-bedroom. This would feature a master with a walk-in closet, followed by a traditional style bedroom. Lastly, the kitchen, dining room, and living room were all designed to be spacious and to minimize barriers blocking any paths of travel. Our southern unit varies slightly from the typical, as the main difference is that it doesn't come with a flex tray. It is very spacious and has a nice open flow concept. The main feature is that the south wall consists of 2 window walls, maximizing the amount of natural light into the unit. The amenity space area, we designed the southern side to be the main hub/gathering area. The west side would be treated as a more private space that would be used to relax and unwind at the end of your day.
For our roof plan, we decided to use screening to hide our mechanical equipment. We also have a mechanical penthouse. Both of these structures we moved to the center of the roof to make it easier for drainage. Our first 3D detail was on the window wall. We wanted to figure out how all of the components interacted together. We first started with our CAD drawings, where we extruded each component, both on the vertical axis and the horizontal axis. We then linked those pieces together to create our door. On the left side is our systems that we used for our insulation. We decided to use 8 inches of insulation. To achieve this, we have vertical and horizontal Z-girts that attach to each other, and that gives us a connection point for our rain screen panels. The rain screen panels are held on with concealed fasteners.
I was faced with 3 main challenges while trying to solve this detail. The first was how to slope the canopy. This was resolved by adding sloped insulation to the inside, which would then help to provide a 2% slope. That would then get drained into the gutter. That would reroute the water into our pilaster. The second was how to tie back the canopies to structure. The solution for this simply involved using an embedded steel plate, which would connect to our angled knife plate adjoining to the HSS beams located inside the canopy. Lastly, I was trying to figure out what would be the most practical approach for making the windowsill structurally sound. The outcome involved blocking at the top of the steel stud, which would sit on top of the steel C-channel, that would then be welded to the angle iron attached to the C-channel, providing for adequate support.
The screens were a major part of our brick detailing. The angled bricks react to the sun and allow for additional privacy for the houses across the lane. The screen detail allows for it to be removable, making it easier to construct or remove in the future if needed. To further make it easier to construct, we came up with a strategy where we make it consistent horizontally while changing the angles vertically. This aligns with how the screen would actually be constructed layer by layer. Additionally, we also figured out the coursing on all of our building and used different kinds of bonds to highlight different building elements. The corbels on the front follow the restrictions set out by Go Brick and add a classic flair to the front facade. Lastly, we created brick boxes on the amenity space to allow for some more private space for the residents. We also coursed all of the fencing separating the units from the amenity space, and all vertical penetrations through the roof consist of an HSS support that is thermally broken, connected to a steel angle for brick or a galvanized steel cap for the pergola.
Because our focus was affordability, the financial component of the building is very important. We did high-level construction costs throughout the process, and we estimated that our building costs would be around $26 million. Research showed us that the government grants would cover up to 1/3 of the cost of the building, which we included in our calculations. We estimate that we can contribute $1.28 million per year into our residential units, allowing us to rent our 1-bedroom plus den units for $900 a month, which is roughly 60% below current market rates for the area. We also include a large operating budget for our building to ensure the commercial floors are consistently rented. To conclude, we believe our project has successfully met our project goals of supplying affordable housing and embracing the desires of the community, alongside with respecting the area redevelopment plan. We believe that Auxilium is a quality example of collaboration between community and developer. It speaks to the potential of 14th Street and the Hillhurst community. We would like to thank our SAIT instructors, Darren, Lindsay, Mark, and Ren, for their unwavering support. We would like to thank our industry mentors, Dylan and Shannon from Arcadis. Our experience at SAIT was rooted in project-based learning, nurturing an idea and developing it into a set of working drawings. Thank you for listening to our presentation.